The Highway Huntress, Aileen Wuornos, a DeepSoul radio true crime investigation *. I'll be back, like Independence Day, big mothership and all. These were the final words of America's most notorious female serial killer, before lethal injection silenced her forever. But what drives a woman to murder 7 men along Florida's highways? What twisted path leads from abandoned child to death row inmate? The year is 1989. The sunset gleams on Interstate 75, cutting through central Florida. A desolate stretch of asphalt where men would stop to help what appeared to be a stranded motorist, never realizing they were meeting their executioner. In the early morning hours of December 13th, the body of Richard Mallory is discovered in a wooded area of St. Lucie County. He's been shot multiple times, his abandoned car found miles away. Authorities initially treat it as an isolated incident, a robbery gone wrong perhaps. They couldn't know this was just the beginning. 6 months pass. June 1990 brings another grim discovery. David Spears, shot 6 times in the torso, found in Citrus County. Days later, Charles Carskadden appears in Pasco County, 9 bullets in his chest. A pattern emerges. Middle-aged white men. Multiple gunshot wounds. Abandoned vehicles. But who is stalking Florida's highways? August. Troy Burris becomes the 4th victim. Despite advanced decomposition, forensic examiners identify 2 bullet wounds. Then Charles Humphreys in September. Walter Antonio in November. 6 confirmed victims in less than a year. Meanwhile, another killer haunts the region. The Gainesville Ripper targets female college students. Law enforcement resources stretch thin as 2 killers hunt simultaneously on Florida soil. By November 1990, investigators finally connect the dots. They announce their suspicion: a woman may be responsible for these killings. It's a revelation that shocks a nation accustomed to male predators. The breakthrough comes unexpectedly. 2 women crash a car through a fence. Peter Siems's car. Siems is missing, presumed to be the 7th victim, though his body is never found. When approached by witnesses, the women decline help and flee. Paramedics later encounter them walking along the road, the fronts of their clothes mysteriously wet, as if recently washed. Police release composite sketches, 1 woman tall and blonde with a heart tattoo, the other shorter with dark hair. The blonde is Aileen Wuornos. The brunette, Tyria Moore, the woman Wuornos, calls the love of my life. But who is Aileen Wuornos? To understand the killer, we must understand the child. Born in 1956 to teenage parents in Michigan, abandoned by her mother at infancy, Aileen never knew her father, a man imprisoned for kidnapping and raping a child, who later committed suicide. Raised by alcoholic grandparents who presented themselves as her parents, Aileen discovered her true parentage through playground taunts when she was 10 years old. By 13, she was pregnant, claiming rape, and sent away to give birth. By 14, she was homeless, surviving through hitchhiking and sex work. Florida became her home in the mid-70s, where arrests for theft, robbery, and assault dotted her record, but never murder. Not yet. When police finally close in, Moore flees the state, abandoning Wuornos. Investigators locate Moore and convince her to help. From a Daytona Beach hotel room, Moore makes 10 recorded phone calls to Wuornos, extracting the confession police need. January 16, 1991, Aileen Wuornos confesses to killing 7 men. But she insists each killing was self-defense, claiming the men attacked her during paid sexual encounters. The prosecution paints a different picture: a calculated predator posing as a damsel in distress to lure, rob, and execute her victims. The jury believes the prosecution. Wuornos receives 6 death sentences. A decade on death row follows, marked by appeals, bizarre behavior, and contradictory statements. At times, she claims self-defense. Other times, she says she'd kill again and hates human life. 3 psychiatrists examine her mental state before execution. All declare her cognizant of her actions. October 9, 2002. Florida State Prison. Aileen Wuornos declines a last meal, accepting only a cup of coffee. At 9:47 a.m., she's pronounced dead. Her rambling final statement about returning like Independence Day echoing in the execution chamber. Was Aileen Wuornos born evil? Or was she created by a lifetime of abuse and neglect? Was she a calculating killer or a traumatized woman defending herself? The Hollywood film Monster portrayed one version of her story, but the true complexity of Aileen Wuornos may never be fully understood. The Florida highway she once haunted remain, carrying travelers who know nothing of the bloodshed that once occurred along those sun-baked shoulders. Only the whispers of the past remain. What do you believe happened here? Share your theory in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to DeepSoul Radio for more chilling cases like this.